The squirrel who chose his own path. Once upon a time in a big city, there was a little squirrel who lived with his mom. Now, this little squirrel was like any other squirrel. He loved to collect nuts, leap from branch to branch, and chatter with his bushy tail. Now, every year when the first leaf began to turn orange, Mama Squirrel would say, "It's time to find a new home. The winter is coming and it's time to find a new tree where we can stay warm. I like this tree and I don't want to leave." "I want to stay here," said the little squirrel. "This is my home and this is where I'm happy." Mama Squirrel couldn't believe what she was hearing. "But you have to promise me that you will come with me." She had climbed up a big oak tree and was frantically scratching at the bark with her claws. "Why don't you just knock on the door?" Little Squirrel's house was up in the branches, and the wind blew it right off the tree. It tumbled down to the ground below. Luckily, both Mama Squirrel and Little Squirrel managed to grab onto a tree root and swing themselves away from the falling house. "I'll open it for you," said Mama Squirrel. "I don't want to go inside." "I want to stay here," said the little squirrel. But Mama Squirrel shook her head. "No, you don't understand. We have to go inside. It's not safe out here," she said. "Okay?" "Okay," said the little squirrel. She knew that if they didn't find a new tree soon, they wouldn't survive the winter. "But I wanted to stay outside," said Little Squirrel. "Well, you can't stay out here by yourself. You're too little. Come with me," said Mama Squirrel. And she took her son's paw and they ran off together into the forest. So she started to run around the neighborhood, looking everywhere for a new tree. If he had listened to her in the first place, they wouldn't have lost their house. So they found a new tree and made a cozy nest inside. And even though Little Squirrel missed his old home, he knew that being with his mother was the most important thing. She couldn't understand why her son didn't want to move to a new tree. It was something they always did. They never stayed in the same tree 2 winters in a row. Mama Squirrel was very surprised. She couldn't believe her ears. All the years she had been telling him how wonderful it would be to have a new tree, but now that it was time to do it, he didn't want to. So every year they would find a new tree and they would make their home there. But this year, when Mama Squirrel told her son it was time to find a new tree, he replied, "I don't want to move. There's no way we're going to survive if we stay here." The little squirrel knew his mother was right, but he didn't want to move. He wanted to stay in his home. She looked and looked, but she couldn't find a good tree. Every tree she found already had a family of squirrels living in it. And besides, it was too late in the season to move. All the trees were bare. There wasn't a single leaf left on any of them. "But why don't you want to move?" asked Mama Squirrel. "But you know we can't stay here for the winter," said Mama Squirrel. So Mama Squirrel went back to her son's room and said, "I'm going to go look for a new tree," and so Mama Squirrel went out of the house to find a new tree for them to live in during the winter. Mama Squirrel was very upset. She was getting worried about her son. Meanwhile, the little squirrel was at home, getting ready for bed. Suddenly, he heard a loud noise outside. He went to his window and saw his mother. "Mom, what are you doing?" shouted the little squirrel. And just then, a big gust of wind blew through the tree. "See, I told you we had to go inside," said Mama Squirrel. From that day on, Little Squirrel understood that sometimes you have to listen to your mother.